Honorable Mayor of New Westminster, welcome to Platform Media International. I want to thank you for honoring the African Association the Soccer Awards. I like the keynote address you gave just now, trying to say the history of soccer in New Westminster. What the African Association have presented seems to be something that should be encouraged, right?
Yes, well, it's certainly my pleasure to be here this evening. The city of New Westminster is the oldest city in British Columbia and has a strong history to soccer, but also has a strong history to being one of the most diverse communities in all of the country. We have a strong African population. About 5% of residents in the city of New Westminster have African descent. So we think there's some strong partnerships that we can create with the Canadian African Soccer and Cultural Association.
That must be something that Africans will like, because New Westminster seems to be one of the most culturally diverse city in the Lower Mainland.
Well, we're right in the center of Metro Vancouver, and obviously closely connected to all municipalities. We also find that New Westminster, because it's one of the most affordable parts of Metro Vancouver, tends to be a place where a lot of newcomers to Canada tend to locate, and we've really prided ourselves on being a welcoming community, and that's why I think these types of partnerships are so important.
I just talked to some Africans there. They seem very impressed with what New Westminster will be doing, and I take a note. The demographics of Africans in New Westminster seems to be increasing every time. Apart from the fact that it's in the center of Lower Mainland, what other incentives do you think have made Africans to be in New Westminster?
It's no doubt being central, but I think it's the fact that we've got excellent public transit. We're a very welcoming community too. You walk down the streets of New Westminster, you're going to see people from backgrounds all around the world, and it's really the type of community that welcomes all people and has created those relationships. So even though our beginnings are the royal city, we really are a multicultural and international city.
Mayor Cote, I want to thank you very much, and I hope to see you next year.
Well, thank you very much. Pleasure chatting with you.
Hello, welcome to Platform Media International. Congratulations on your award in this African Canadian Soccer Federation night. So everybody seemed to agree that you deserve this award. So what do you think took you to this award?
Well, actually, I'm coaching the kids. I have done the last 15 years for the kids. Mm-hmm. So because of that, I think I was surprised to have this, but all this because of the kids. That's why I get this award.
Do you love kids so much?
So much, yeah.
Is there a story to that?
Yeah, there is before I joined the Canadian African United, I used to coach Ethiopian kids, and that's the first Ethiopian, so we should make the African together. Why don't I make it those things? That's why I make it happen. 8 years ago, we start a lot of children, they play in a lot of places now, even for national team as well. The Canadian national team they used to play.
So you must be very, very highly inspired by the fact that you have been recognized for your effortless your efforts this far.
Well, still I have to do a lot, but still I'm happy to work with the kids. Yeah, that's why really.
In 5 years, down the road, what's your ultimate goal for this kid? What do you wish them?
But I wish them to have fun, to be able to help others with their ability soccer, and then also to help the Canadian soccer as well, because that's my ultimate goal.
Do you see them progressing to either MLS or European League?
I think some of them, I encourage a lot of them. I sent 3 of them in Europe. They are recognized. I think they are able to, it's up to the family. I think I see the seed is grown up now. I see. So the Africans are common now. If you see in a White Cup, the Africans join. If you see a lot of them, they join now.
Really? Okay. I wish you the best of luck. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks.
Mr. Amos Kembere, the director of Monja. You're here tonight to see the African Canadian Soccer Federation Award night.
Yes, that's true.
From what you're saying, what's your impression so far?
I think my impression so far is that we've come a long way and we are about to get there, because I can see the development for the kids is coming along, that we are almost being competitive with the rest of the mainstream.
Part of programs like this is to take kids out of the streets. This federation has engaged a lot of youths, especially from Africans and Africans in diaspora. They've engaged them in soccer and also helped them get out of the streets. Do you think this objective has been well far-fetched?
I think the objective is well-founded. The fact that they are beginning with the kids from 5 to 18, they are grabbing them before they get absorbed by the street people. So when you start training kids from age 5, 6, 7, 8, the chances that they will go on the street are very minimal. So this program focusing on young children is going to be successful in the near future.
You are very experienced in organizing things that help people. Especially Moja is a very prominent organization in the community. So what advice do you think you can give to them to build on what they have achieved so far?
I think the best advice I want to give would be basically to the parents, is that the parents need to embrace this organization. The parents need to invest in their children and become competitive, because Canadians invest in their children. They spend time with them. And when the African families come here, we tend to neglect our children. So as parents, we need to invest in these kids. We need to support them in their aspirations, take them to these games, to these cultural organizations. That way, we will get them out of isolation.
Wow. Thank you. It's coming from somebody who is very steep in organizing. I will have to trust your instincts. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
And thank you for the good work.
Welcome to Platform Media, sir.
Yes,
What's your name?
Ucheng.
Ucheng, welcome to Platform Media. You must be inspired with what is going on tonight. And I see that you're one of the prime movers of this association. What are you the secret?
Yeah, the fundamental principle of how we have progressed up to today to come where we are is all motivated by the necessities to acclimatize ourselves in this new environment. When we first immigrated, we found ourselves so few, far in between, and was very difficult to integrate African immigrants together. So we conceptualized this whole idea as a result of pure necessity. So it first initiated with us coming together and playing soccer. And from there we saw the need that apart from just playing soccer, we could extend this association we were trying to form, coming together to actually inculcate some of the values that will help us acclimatize faster and integrate in this society. So what we did was, from a group organization, 1 or 2, I was a founding member of that organization at that time. And we started out to try and create a forum where African immigrants would come together and discuss the issues that faced them at the time. And we shared our common interests, we shared our common history, and we shared the challenges we were facing as new immigrants. And this was very valuable information that each one of us took back with them home. And eventually we started seeing this grow beyond the reaches of only African immigrants. We started seeing other immigrants as well from other parts of the world, and eventually even the Canadians came and joined it. Then from that time on, we found it a great necessity to change strategy. And as a result, we conceptualized the first foundation of African Soccer and Cultural Association. And it was then called African Soccer Tournament. And over time, we developed the constitution and got it incorporated And once it was incorporated, we developed a democratic process as a way of governing the organization. And then we started lobbying for financial support, and eventually a number of companies came in, and we have never looked back since.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I want to say congratulations, congrats to your elbows. All right?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure.